All right, great. This is Susan Batang from the Quiet Zone Coaching, and you are listening to No More Losers, Dating After Divorce. And today I want to talk about something that's really super sticky. And I know I didn't do a good job with this myself when I was divorced and my kids were younger. So I want to give you some insight into introducing a new guy to the kids. So let's just say you've been out intermixing with other people and you find this guy that you really like. Side note, very important now, you'll understand why it's important for you to define your value system, to feel comfortable in your own skin, to process the hurt of your divorce and your past relationship, and to have some self-confidence and some self-esteem before you start going out and dating again. And this is why, because now you're going to have to introduce this guy to the kids. And you want to make sure that the example that you're setting is a positive, healthy one. Okay. Because your kids are looking to you as an example, even if they're teenagers. Okay. What they see in a relationship is going to clue them in and be the example to them of how they should behave in a relationship. So if all they saw was fighting and arguing, and that's what they're going to do in their relationships, because that's what they think is normal. This is what they saw. So you want to give them, you want to be a role model for them and give them an example that is what a healthy relationship should look like. What is a man's and a woman's role in a relationship? What kind of partnership should they have? Is it okay to talk to each other this way? Is it okay to solve problems this way? One of the things that I do with my clients when we go through our process of healing is we look at what your parents' relationship was all about. And we are going to talk about that coming up in another episode. But your parents' relationship taught you about how you should behave, whether or not you realize it or not. How many times in your life have you started, and I know I do this now too, you start thinking about, oh my gosh, I sound like my mother or my father, okay? And you start talking or behaving in a way that reminds you of one of your parents. And that's because they were the role models for you. And in the same way, you are the role model for your children. So what I want you to do is to make sure that when you start dating somebody, that they have similar values to you, that they are a good fit for you, because they are going to be, this is going to be another role model for them. And your interactions with them are going to be a role model for them. So I want you to make sure that your new life mantra, when you start, one of your new life mantras, when you start dating again, is going to be, what example am I setting for my kids? Okay. No matter how old they are. So, okay. So when you do meet somebody new, what should you do? Okay. So when you do go out with them, if they come to the house to pick you up, if you're not meeting them out somewhere, it's perfectly fine to let the kids see them. Okay. Yeah. This is my new friend, Joe. Okay. Yeah. We're going to go out and have dinner. Nothing wrong with that. The only issue you might run into is when you have kids, and this happens with children, they have that secret wish that mom and dad are going to get back together again. And you have to make sure they understand that's not going to happen. And we still love dad. Okay. But mom is going to make some new friends too. And, dad may too. Okay. So it's okay for that to happen. That you don't want to say, okay, well, now I've just kind of like kicked dad out the window. You don't want your kids to see that either, right? So let the kids see your new date. Let them meet him and say, hi, how you doing? When you guys go out, and introduce them and say, hey, this is Bob or Joe or whatever his name is. And don't lie about the fact that it's a date or that you're romantically involved, because the kids will remember that and they're not going to trust you. So you want to make sure you don't lie about it. But once you start deciding that, the kids are, I think they should really hang out. I want to see what they think of this guy, and I want to see how he reacts with them. If this is somebody that you may want to be keeping for a while. What you want to do is you want to schedule an activity for all of you to do together that is fun for the children. And that means not something at home at first. You can always have a game night or a movie night at home later, once they get to meet each other and know each other a little bit. But the first couple of times that you guys get together, it should be on neutral ground, so that that way your date doesn't feel overwhelmed by stepping into the kids' world, and the kids don't feel like there's an intruder. Okay, so go out, take them out bowling, take them out somewhere fun for them. Okay, bowling or the zoo or a movie or a park or, you know, the playground or whatever is appropriate for your kids that they like to do. And then ask the kids what they think. You know, let them express their objections. Now, that doesn't mean that you're letting your kids run your love life, okay? But what it does mean is you're letting them feel heard. Okay, now you are going to have, sometimes you're going to have a child that's like, you know, no, I don't want you to go out with somebody else. You should be back with daddy. Okay, and that's normal. So don't think, you know, don't get angry. Let the children have a say. And you can say things like, I know you miss dad, but you know, he can't be here with us anymore. It's what things have changed. And I know this guy is, you know, trying to be funny and he's not funny. But he really does want to get to know you and get to like you. And in the same way too, check in with your partner, your new partner, and say, you know, what did you think? Did you get along with the kids? Did you like the kids? Talk about it. You do not want to have gorillas in the room. Okay, you do not want to have kids who can't stand the guy and the guy who can't stand the kids. If he can't accept your children as a part of your life, bye-bye. Okay, no, you don't want that. You do not want somebody like that. The kids are coming along with you. Okay, they're part of the package that is you, and they are a huge part of who you are. So make sure that anybody who's not happy about that is bye-bye. Okay, and also make sure they treat them right. Okay, you know, unless you have made previous agreements, you know, for discipline, you are the disciplinarian, at least for the time being. Okay, now the kids should also respect the partner. So you want to make sure that they, you know, hey, you can't talk to him like that. Use reflective listening. And that's where reflective listening is when you make statements that it sounds like you're feeling this, or I'm hearing that you don't like this, or it seems like there's a problem and what you want to talk about it. Validate their emotions and say, I understand what you're feeling. But right now, this is the way things are going to be. But please, you know, talk to me about it. I do want to hear about how you're feeling about it. And you can ask them, what is something that I can do to make you feel better about this? Okay, so, you know, like I said, you don't want to let them run your love life, but you do want to take their opinion under advisement, because sometimes children, they see things that we don't want to see. So just keep an eye open and play things by ear, but definitely listen to what they have to say. That doesn't mean that you have to break up with somebody just because the kids don't like them, but definitely just keep an eye out. So I'm sure you know your kids better than I do, so you do what you got to do. But if you have questions about how to do this and how to integrate in with another guy or his kids too, maybe you can do something all together. That would be an interesting proposition, a Brady Bunch, right? But what I want you to do is go to www.thequietzonecoaching.com/services. On the services page, you can pick up a virtual coffee. There's a link there to my calendar. You can either get a virtual coffee or you can get a perfect partner assessment. And that's a perfect partner assessment is where we talk a little bit about what's going on in your life and how I can help you. And a virtual coffee is if you have questions and stuff like that, and we can talk a little bit about what you've heard here today. So I hope you have a wonderful, awesome, amazing evening. I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.